Camille Paglia, she said, "A woman simply is, but a man must become." A woman is, a man must become. 1960, JFK wrote an article in Sports Illustrated called "The Soft American." It's a wonderful article. I recommend you read the whole thing. He says, "For the Greeks prized physical excellence and athletic skills among man's greatest goals and among the prime foundations of a vigorous state. Thus, the same civilizations which produced some of the highest achievements in philosophy and drama, government, and art also gave us a belief in the importance of physical soundness, which has become a part of Western tradition." It's 1960. JFK was very concerned about the state of our physical health, particularly in young boys. Today, 40% of men 20 to 39 are obese. Not overweight, obese. Many people think that the health of people and the health of a civilization and everything that means are not related, but they are directly related. The point from JFK was that virtue and masculinity is physical. We're going to talk to Kevin Sorbo, who played Hercules, coming up in a little bit, right? So there's like the physicalness of masculinity, but there's also the intellectual and moral aspect as well. And a thriving society would have strong people, strong minds, and strong morals. And to go back to JFK's point, I think we are soft on all three. Not going to spend too much time in this opening segment or in the show today blaming feminism for all this, because that's too obvious. The feminist movement said that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. That's to say, not at all. That is so patently absurd. Where are all the female bricklayers and female truckers and female welders and firefighters? You get the point. But here's the thing. You get all that. Women can't be dads. Women can't be dads. This is the opening sentence, a real life opening sentence of a Baltimore local news story. All right, here's how the story started out. As another school year begins, a Baltimore mom is not scheduling after-school activities for her 14-year-old daughter. Instead, she's scheduling court appearances and trying to figure out what, if anything, will get her daughter to stop stealing cars and follow the rules of her home detention. That's the opening. There it is, right? That's the news report there. To be clear, the 14-year-old girl, she's not just stealing cars. When you read the whole article, she's carjacking. Okay, that means someone's in the car and she's ripping them out of the car and then stealing the car that's already on. Now, you read the whole story, and this happens all the time. I get one of these every day. You read the story, and what's missing from the story? It's missing from all these stories. Where's Dad? That reporter wasn't interviewing Dad because there is no Dad. If there was a present Dad, then the girl wouldn't be carjacking people across Baltimore. And we wouldn't be asking questions, how can we keep her inside? And what jail should we be sending her to? You name the social ill, you can trace it back to a lack of a dad. Try it. Name one. Name a social problem in our country today, and you can trace it back to lack of dads. Now, just to show the opposite, here's a video of someone who will not go around carjacking anyone.
Set the hook! God, dude. Stay on him, son. Come on. Hold up. Let me tighten this up. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Come on. Stay on him. Stay on him, son. Come on. Stay on him. Come on. Get him up. Really. Come on. Crank back. Don't let him pull you in. Come on. Real, son. That's a big one. Come on. Stay on him. Don't let him jump. Come on, son. Yeah! Let's freaking go, boy! Let's go! Come on, boy! Yeah!
No, man!
Let's go, kid! Let's go, buddy!
That boy will not carjack anyone ever. It's a dad and his son, maybe grandpa, fishing. That kid will be fine. That kid will be fine in life. Or this kid.
Up to third. Up, over, third. Now gas. Even transition. Ready? There you go. Go, go, go. Yay! You got it, boy. Keep going. That's what I'm talking about right there. Keep going.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, buddy. Keep going. Keep going. So you got a car to your left.
Oh, come on. That kid will always know where to go for advice in life. He'll always know where to go when he can't control his emotions, when he doesn't know what to do, when he's in a tough situation. He's going to know where to go. And not just advice on how to drive stick. He'll make mistakes. Everyone does. But he'll have a dad there to provide the direction and the discipline and to bring order back to his son's life. Not all dads are perfect. We all make mistakes, goodness. But if you want to keep your boys out of prison and you want to keep your daughters off the pole, or today's expression would be if you want to keep your daughters off OnlyFans. Actually, if you want to keep your sons and daughters off OnlyFans, be a dad. And if you see someone in prison, and if you see a girl who does the OnlyFans, you can be certain that there was a deadbeat dad in the past. And I'll leave an asterisk for, I brought this up on my radio show once, and people called in, they're like, oh, well, what if the mom took the kids away from the dad, and the dad lost custody because of the biased courts, and maybe the dad didn't even know that the girl was pregnant, so the dad, okay, sure, fine. There's always exceptions. But the vast majority, the norm, is men abandoning their God-given role as provider and protector. Now, I want to be clear too. There are deadbeat dads who are still present. Like they're in the home, but no one's home. You with me? You know what I mean? They're in the home, but like no one, hello, earth to dad, like no one, they're not there. They're there, but they're not there. The dad may be present, but is paying more attention to a made-up, make-believe football team that he thinks he's the coach of than his actual real-life flesh and blood children that live inside that same home. 1964, you've heard of the Moynihan Report. He was the Assistant Secretary of Labor in LBJ's administration. Daniel Patrick Moynihan was his name. His own father left him when he was 10, so he understood the importance of families, and that is the bedrock of civilization. So in 1963, he wrote a report about the growing divorce rates in America. So in 1963, 25% of black children and 5% of white children lived in homes with unmarried mothers. 25% of black, 5% white. The most recent numbers I could find, so it's way worse than this, is 2011. 72% of black children are born to unmarried. 72. He was worried when it was 25%. Now it's 72. And even for white families, white babies, it's 30%. Right? So he was worried when the black illegitimate rate was 25. How many men have given up? How many men, or maybe how many men have no good model of what it even means to be a good father at this point, or what it means to be truly masculine. And if you don't know what it means to be truly masculine, which is what we're going to talk about in the show today, then it's easy to take the attack of it and be like, oh, masculinity is bad or it's toxic. So we're going to describe what it is, create that vision, create that goal, define our terms. So we're going to explore today. The word virtue, to me, masculinity and virtue are the same word. It's the same concept. When I think masculinity, I think virtue. Virtue comes from the Latin word for man. Vir, V-I-R, virtue means man in Latin. Masculinity is living a life of virtue. And our founding fathers knew this, right? The whole pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, that didn't mean like fleeting emotional happiness. It meant the practice of virtue. Happiness to them, their understanding of happiness was that you can only get it when you live a virtuous life. So the pursuit of happiness to them really meant the practice of virtue. They knew that the only deep, lasting joy that you can get in life comes from a life of virtue, courage, loyalty, hard work, resilience, personal responsibility, self-reliance, sacrifice, all these great virtues that we never talk about. They used to be it was out there everywhere. All that was talked about in pop culture. Again, we're talking to Kevin Sorbo in a little bit, so we'll get the Hollywood perspective. Like all stories used to be around these principles, these virtues, and now they're not. So we have become morally weak. Goodness, we don't even have time to go into how intellectually pathetic we are. I just saw a poll the other day. They asked 41,000 adults 10 basic US history questions. 6 was a passing grade. All right, so if you got 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, then you pass. So 5 or less, do you know what percentage of people passed? What percent? You would think in the United States of America, you would think 10 basic questions like how many states are there? Like those kind of questions. 36% passed. 36%? What? That's it. The rest of you should be deported. What are you doing here when you don't know the most basic things? So, but anyway, moral softness, intellectual softness, but then back to JFK's point, also the physical softness. Have you ever seen this video? This is La Serra High School. This was a gym class. Okay? This was a gym, a high school. Look at those guys. They're almost as jacked as I am. Look, they're all like Hercules. What is that? That was a high school gym class. Now, La Serra was known for being exceptional in their high school gym class. But like, even if that's above par, par was still like, you know, those are high schools. Those guys are like jacked CrossFitters. We used to have strong boys. These high schools were stronger than grown adults today. Who could do that? What adult could? And then, of course, compare those high schoolers to your average high schoolers today. But again, here's my point. It's not just physical excellence. It's who you are as a man. So what is masculinity? Let's end this segment with a definition. What is masculinity? I'm going to quote Brett McKay. He said, masculinity is striving for excellence and virtue in all areas of your life, fulfilling your potential as a man, and being the absolute best brother, friend, husband, father, and citizen you can be. Oh, that's so good. Brother, friend, husband, father, citizen. Masculinity is excellence. Masculinity is virtue and excellence. And we will not, cannot save this country. It will be impossible to save this country until we restore virtue in our own lives first. Nothing like this has ever been done before. It's called Politics by Faith with me, Mike Slater. We are bombarded with news all day long, and I don't know about you, but it makes me anxious and worried and all these not good feelings. So in Politics by Faith, we take the news of the day, we lament the brokenness of it, and then we take the turn and we give you a biblical or historical perspective, and hopefully that will bring you some peace so that you can fall asleep at night and reminding you of what is in your control and also what is not. Hopefully this will change our perspective of how we look at the stories of the day. Politics by Faith, it's available now everywhere you download podcasts. Politics by Faith with Mike Slater.